Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Untapped Podcast. My name is Jacob Gabel.
And my name is Jacob Wurtz, guys. Welcome to episode 142 of the Untapped Podcast. If this is your first time joining us, first of all, thank you. We are thrilled to have you here with us. We've actually got 5 main formats of our show. So first, and this is what we have today for you, we have Forging Fortitude episodes. Now in these episodes, we cover the mental side of our brand. So in these, we go over our anecdotal experiences with things like mindset and mentality, and then we pass on tips and advice to you guys to then apply to your own lives. Next, we have physical vitality episodes. Now, in these episodes, we cover the physical side of our brand. So we really get to showcase our expertise because you have 2 certified personal trainers here. Now, in these episodes, we cover everything to do with the gym, nutrition, diet, workouts, mental toughness programs like 75 Hard, supplements, untapped training, which, guys, if you have any questions, any curiosities about what we offer, please reach out to us. We're more than willing to help in any way we can. Then, sometimes we will also take training articles or ideas within the fitness industry and give our thoughts and opinions on those. Guys, those physical vitality episodes are full of free game. Like I said, that's our expertise. So make sure you pay attention to those.
Love it. Let's get it, dude. Forging Fortitude. Let's get after it today. Our third format, ladies and gentlemen, is our breaking news format. That is a current event-based format. Obviously, current events going on in the world, things like the U.S. election, aftermath of that type of stuff. But that is not our entire identity. We could do 3 to 4 episodes of those a week, and we would probably have our blood pressure rise from that if we did do that many episodes.
No kidding.
A week. But again, like Wurtz said, our main focus is the health and fitness side of things because that is our expertise. We can bring our opinions out, but we're not going to doom and gloom you. We're going to also give you solutions in those current event episodes. Now, our fourth format is our Knights Table format. That is a masculinity-based format. We talk about things like toxic masculinity, if it's real, what it even is, or if it's a buzzword, etc. Fatherhood, the impact it's had on our lives as well. And just male topics in general and how important young men and men are to the world as well. Now, keep in mind, I'm 26, Wurtz is 26. Our producer, Mitch, is 24. Because of that reason, we are not coming to you as some all put together, top of the mountain type of man. That is not a thing we will ever be. The only perfect man to ever walk this earth is Jesus Christ. Now, on to our fifth format. That is our guest format. That is when we sit down with an entrepreneur, fitness professional, athlete, doctor, anybody who brings you value and you're going to learn a lot from. We learn a lot from those episodes, and I can promise you are going to gain a lot of information from those episodes as well. Usually, our final thing to introduce would be our producer and my brother, Mitchell Gabel, but he has a very important endeavor he's on right now. I will give him credit on that for why he's missing, but important endeavor for that, so he's not with us today. So we're going to have a little chat here, I guess, without him.
Mitch is skipping out again. I mean,
it's his favorite.
Apparently, he just loves to skip out on work.
It's his favorite.
Yeah.
Of course. I'm surprised we didn't try to do the, like after it came out today, the United Healthcare assassination and whatnot.
No kidding.
For breaking news. I'm like, I don't even think I want to talk about that.
I know.
There's not enough info out and whatnot.
Right.
That's a whole crazy situation too.
It is.
And you and I were talking about the fact that somebody probably got fed up.
Oh, yeah.
Because you were messing with people and whatnot. Right. And that's a lot of the healthcare and pharmaceutical and insurance
the corruption,
industry, the corruption, et cetera. And it's like, well, what do you know? But yeah. What else? Anything other new for us other than that?
Well, Thanksgiving happened. Hope you all had a very happy Thanksgiving. Yeah. Christmas is quickly approaching already, which is wild. It's snowing already.
So no happy holidays for you?
No. We're a Merry Christmas state.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Love Merry Christmas.
This is a Merry Christmas podcast.
Yeah.
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you couldn't tell from the intro.
You're right.
We talked about Jesus Christ. And you also, today, when we're recording this, Wednesday, you also had a really sweet session at S2.
Yeah.
Again as well.
Got to go up to the S2 gym second time this week, which was sweet. They had an open gym this past Monday. It's always a pleasure getting to go up to First Form or S2 for that matter. But yes, had the opportunity to do a very cool video photo shoot with a photographer, AD7 Collections on Instagram. You guys should go check them out. A lot of you here in St. Louis that are involved in high school sports probably already know him. But AIM is his name. But again, AD, just the letters AD7.collections. Definitely go check him out on Instagram. He does some sick work. But I had the opportunity to do a cool shoot with him at the S2 gym. So that content should be coming out soon. I'm very excited about that. But
love it, dude. Little shout out.
dude. Yeah, absolutely. Very deserving of that. But the winter arc is upon us.
It's so corny. I can't even like seriously jump into this topic because of how corny hearing winter arc is. To a degree, it can be cool.
It can be.
Like
and
some of the edits look sick.
Like absolutely.
The boys we focus on, like Annie Morph, Anthony Persson, all of them. Like, sick edits.
Absolutely. And like full transparency, like I have used sounds that talk about the winter arc.
You have, yes.
Like I'm not gonna act like I haven't, or we're not gonna act like the winter arc can't be a thing. Okay. But my goodness. It is such a BS thing the way some people utilize the winter arc.
So what is the winter arc for people that don't know about this?
The way I would describe it is the moment the calendar turns to November, maybe December, but I would say November is typically when this stuff starts coming out on social media. The winter arc is when people finally put their head down and get to work. You know, in the gym is usually what it revolves around. Usually it's more referring to the gym and fitness and things like that. I wouldn't say I see it as much with like business related things.
No.
Just because
the most common health and fitness trend when it comes to time of the year is obviously New Year.
Oh, for sure.
But
for sure,
this is one that pops up a lot of times. It's like, it's getting cold.
Right.
It's now time to get after it.
Right. And that's more so like why the title, guys, of this episode, you know, the winter arc is BS. And we're going to more shine a light here in this, 15, 20 minutes here that we're about to go over this. We're going to shine a light on how stupid it is to just wait around all year for the winter months to come to get to work because it's cold outside. And where we can start on a positive note is, yes, wintertime can be a great time to lock in, get in the gym consistently, get to work, kind of put your head down. I'm not talking about like the sad boy with the hood up and all this other stuff. Like, okay, dude, cool, you worked out with your hood on. Like, yes, we've all had workouts like that where you don't want to be talked to, but my God, we don't have to do it every day because it's snowing outside. Okay, you can see your breath. Congratulations.
And then put funk music over it on TikTok.
No, literally, yes, or like anime, like edits and stuff. And it's like, okay, like listen, some of the anime characters, yes, do they look kind of cool? And some of them look badass and like super powerful. Like that's great. Okay, cool. But yes, some of the sounds and edits, it's like, dude, maybe there's a market for that, and that's just not us. I think that's the case.
I think the market's like 13 to 20-year-old boys.
Maybe, yeah. Sad boys or something, yeah.
The girl just broke up with them.
Yeah.
And they're going on the winter arc.
Yeah, it's just like, damn, dude, okay. But again.
And we all get that heartbreak, by the way.
Absolutely.
It does activate.
It can be a very useful tool level. For that matter. 100%
yeah. It does. Yeah.
But again, to start on positivity, it can be a great time to do those things I just mentioned. All right. It's cold outside. It gets dark at noon, basically. Like, I get it. There's not.
It's crazy. I wasn't going to buzz over that.
It's like, yes, is there much desire, or there is not much desire to go outside and go for rucks, do the outdoor workouts that, you and I really enjoy doing. Mm-hmm. Is a desire there to do those during the winter? No, there really isn't. For you and I, there is still that. I mean, I just did one the other day. It was 22 degrees out when I started that ruck. And the reason I think you and I do enjoy those, and a lot of you listening, a lot of you that we know, you guys are with us on this as well. There's just, I mean, when it's 20 degrees, when it's 10 degrees, when it's snowing, when it's both of those things, I mean, you and I have been out there at some stupid times doing some winter workouts and rucks. What
was that, like 4 years ago? We did a midnight -5-degree ruck.
Oh, yeah.
I was like,
yeah.
Looking back on that, it's like, what?
It's like, why did we do that? But also, like,
it's kind of cool.
Man, I want to do that again. Yeah,
100%.
That was crazy though. Like the wind chill literally had it down into the negative teens. Mm-hmm. Like that's how crazy this was. But there's an element to the winter time that if you do stuff outside, it just makes it that much more difficult. Mm-hmm. And not to say that doesn't happen when it's literally 100 degrees here in St. Louis and plenty of other places throughout the country. But there's just something different about that winter winter weather that makes you want to go out in it and do stuff. You know, obviously you got to be smart about it when you're in the winter. When
100%.
it's single digits, like you got to be smart. You can't just throw a hoodie on, some pants. You know, you got to cover up. Okay, be smart. But back to the original point here about the winter arc being BS. When you're waiting all year and it's like, okay, finally I'll get to work now that it's cold outside. I'm not going outside. Like, that's stupid. That is stupid.
Mm-hmm.
You should be ending the year on a very productive, positive, and momentum building point.
Absolutely.
That's how I view the winter. It's like, okay, maybe I'm lacking in one area of my fitness, my physical look or whatever. It's like, I need to start building in the wintertime so that I have momentum going into the new year. It's not, let's wait till January 1.
Yep.
It's, why not start now? That's why so many people start 75 hard actually before the new year. It's to go into that year with momentum. You know, that's a very hard time to do 75 hard. You and I, we've always done it like towards the end of January. That's usually when we've started, or at least for me anyway. But the winter time before the new year, that's a hard time to do 75 hard because you have all the holidays, you have all the family gatherings, there's all kinds of desserts and sweets and cookies and alcohol and things like that. Like, it's everywhere, you know? It's just kind of what you do during the holidays. So it's a very hard time to do it. So I have a lot of respect for people that are able to get through the holidays on 75. You and I, we've gone through plenty of other things, you know, sporting events, things like that we would, you know, want to partake in drinking or, you know, stuff our face with stupid food. Like, it's what you do. But it just irks me because, you know, a lot of these people take advantage of the winter arc, you know, trend to actually get to work.
Yeah. Oh gosh. Yeah. The winter arc is one of those things that it's kind of a symptom of how corny the fitness industry has gotten in a lot of sects of it in a lot of ways.
And can be.
It can.
Because it's not everyone.
Because obviously the section we are on is not at all. It's
for the most part.
Yeah. For the most part, of course.
Unless you do CrossFit. Sorry, I had to throw that.
Always have to take a dig at them. Yeah. But, you know, it shines a light, kind of the winter arc thing shines a light on this section of the fitness industry a lot of times where there's still this lone wolf mentality that comes out of it too.
Yes.
And that's not productive at all.
No.
Because, not to mention, we have a loneliness crisis in this country. We do.
Especially in men.
Especially in young men.
Yeah, absolutely.
And suicide rates are skyrocketing still in young men. You know, so it's like...
But hey, men are the problem.
Well, yeah, sure.
Obviously.
Yeah, 100%. Which we need to hit on another episode of that too. But that's the whole thing. But anyways, it definitely is a symptom of that. And I don't think that content also along those same lines assist in those narratives at all.
Definitely not.
Like telling a dude to just disappear for 2 to 3 months during the holidays, not see his family at all, and just like grind also. It's like, great. The grinding part you can still do.
For sure.
But you can also grind and still talk to people.
Right.
And not be weird and like a loner and stuff like that and disappear into your cave. At
Right.
night, like your bat cave or something like that. Like you're pulling in like Batman. It's like, that's not what we're looking for. Like men especially, we need camaraderie. We need to be around other men.
Yes.
And honestly, girls, I would say the same thing for. Women,
For sure.
100% I'd say the same things for. It's like why they do so well having like brunch communities or whatever or something like that, because that's how they connect.
Well, and honestly, at gyms, I feel like I more often see two girls working out together, you know, friends or whatever. As a matter of fact, at both times I was at the S2 gym this week, multiple pairs of girls were working out together as friends, you know? Like, I see that way more often, I feel like, with girls than I do with guys. Even though, like, you and I all the time, anytime we get to work out together, we love it. Oh, it's awesome.
Yeah.
Anytime we get to link up with any of the S2 guys or whatever and work out with them, like, it's awesome. It's awesome. There's 3 of us, there's 4 of us, there's us 2. Like, it doesn't matter. It's awesome. It feels great.
Well, Brock's men's night was a good example of that when I was there a couple weeks ago or whatnot. Yeah. Because you see a bunch
at
of
S2.
Yeah, at S2 as well. Yeah, geez, we're always there. But,
common theme here.
Apparently. But that's true because like those guys, none of those guys in there that came to the men's night are there for a winter arc or something like that.
No.
They're there to be around other dudes that also care about their health and fitness.
There's also no ego. And if you do come to something like that with an ego, like, oh man, I'm so much better than these guys. You know, I can handle my problems, or I don't want to work out with any of these guys. Like, bro, you're at the wrong place. You're at the wrong place.
Wrong event. 100%. Yeah. And the winter arc, you're right. It's one of those things that it can be also along the same lines of that it's encourages this lone wolf thing. That's negative. But there's also, like you were saying, that some people will just start getting after it right then during the winter arc. It's
Right.
it's like saying that the winter arc is different than you working out in the summer or the fall or the spring and whatnot. It's like, no, you should be getting after it year round.
Right.
It's a very simple thing where like that foot should be on the gas pedal,
Right.
and consistency should be on the gas pedal 24/7.
Yeah. And listen, like you and I both know too, throughout the year, your consistency at the gym is going to fluctuate some.
Absolutely.
There's going to be times where you can get to the gym 5 days a week. That's a great week. There's some weeks you might only be able to get 2 in at the gym. Guess what? That's still a great week. You still got there 2 times. You still were productive. You still got some lifts in. Hopefully you made those 2 days productive, just as you would the 5 days, the 4 days, the 7 days, whatever it is. But the fact is, like, I think people view the winter as the time to build the summer body, which, okay, I have nothing against that. I literally have nothing against that. But then in the summertime, they ease off. They're at the lake. They're on the float trips. Or, by the way, it was not a dig at you and Mitch.
Oh, I know
you guys
that.
have a lake
Yeah.
house.
No, of
But-
course not.
But you know the stereotypical, like, we're going to the lake every weekend to drink and go
We're
on the boat
talking
and all that stuff.
every-
Yeah, exactly.
yeah, every
they're-
single weekend.
they're
or
going
for
on-
multiple days. Or whatever
Right,
it is. Yeah.
right. They're going to the beach. They're going to the float trips and whatever. There's plenty of things I'm missing. But they lay off the gas pedal, and then September and October roll around, fall time, and you realize you're fat. You've put on weight that you didn't want to, or whatever. It's like, dude, it's because you didn't maintain that consistency throughout the year.
And you and I have talked about it multiple times too. You can still do those fun things and maintain consistency.
100%. I think you and I are great examples of that. A lot of the people
Absolutely.
we're around are great examples of that.
You and I do a lot of fun things. And
Absolutely.
we purposely do that because you and I were even talking about this before the episode, but the whole hustle and grind culture that is only talked about on a certain side of the internet, it's a little frustrating for us because we feel more productive when we do fun stuff.
Well, and also because, as we've mentioned, like the fun things we do involve the people that move us forward. And that is why we love the people that we choose to put ourselves around, whether it's the other coaches that we know, the Jeffs and the Brocks, or it's the S2 people, the First Form people, or it's our very close friends, you know, that we meet up at a house and we watch the fights or whatever. Like, it doesn't matter. Any of those groups of people, they're going to move us forward, maybe in a different way too, which is great. We have a wide palette there, you know, but it's not like we're just going down to Ballpark Village every weekend just to screw off for every Saturday night. You know, like that's not what we do for fun. What we do for fun, if we're not doing all those things, is going to the driving range on a Friday night or a Saturday night. And guess what? In a way, that's still productive because we're getting better at golf.
Yeah, it sounds pretty productive to me.
And as we mentioned, like, golf can be a great way to move business forward. You know,
Absolutely
like
can.
all of it can connect.
So what's funny, you say that one of our patients, he's, I think, a vice president for a company doing over $1 billion in sales now.
Casual.
Just casual. But he golfs with very high rollers. And he talks to me all the time about that because I'm always asking him about golf because I think he shoots like 1 or 2 over max most of the time,
Oh, yeah.
which is disgusting.
Yeah.
But
Same.
damn it. But he always talks about being with high rollers, and a majority of the time he says for the 3 and 4 hours, it's a lot of business talk. It's a time to, he said this too, which is actually really interesting hearing this from a guy closer to the top of a company, which is very interesting. He was like, it's also a time to spend time around people that you just enjoy spending time around as well.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, that's interesting to hear from a guy who probably put in 60 to 70 hours a week for like at least 10 years of his life at some point in time plus.
Right.
You know, that's an interesting thing to hear, that rest and that enjoyment also pushes him forward in his work and his meetings he has, whatever that type of stuff is. But I mean, it was very interesting. Like a lot of the stuff they talk about, it's not super stressful, but it is business talk a lot of times. And it was very fascinating that he said that. But that's the point, is like connecting to the winter arc thing, where it doesn't mean that you just disappear and don't talk to your family. Like I said, it's
or your friends or whatever.
Your friends or whoever it is. And then again, you screw off in the summer or whatnot, because that's the fun time or whatever. Absolutely, the winter can still be a very fun time. There's still plenty of things to do. There's still simulators you can go to play golf like we will and whatnot. there's still other random things to do like that.
Right.
Just because it's cold outside doesn't mean you can't do fun stuff.
Right.
That's just false. And just because it's cold out, for those of you that are on the opposite side of the winter arc, doesn't mean you can't get to work it too.
Right.
You know, even if you are outside a couple days a week or something like that, doing the rucks and whatnot, layer up, be smart, etc.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be a super complex thing is the point.
For sure.
You know,
for sure.
The winter arc doesn't need to be trendy and all this stuff. It's just like, just having a year, like an everyday arc. I mean, seriously.
An all year arc.
Yeah, it doesn't have the same ring to it as
No, it
winter arc
doesn't.
does. Not at all. Yeah. And again, like, it's fun to mess around with the edits and like watch them and that type
For
of
sure.
stuff and see these guys getting
Yeah.
after in the winter. Sure.
Yeah.
Apps. I'm all about it. It's cool.
What is it? The Kratos voice or whatever it is.
It's always the Kratos voice
Yes.
too.
Yes.
Yeah,
which
is
like
sick.
it's sick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It looks like
like
a
it-
cool video game. I bhaven't played it before,
Yeah.
but it looks
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
But the point of the matter is that you're 100% right. Like, it is one of those things where there's the multiple extremes of the winter arc side of things. There's the people that completely screw off during the holidays and don't do anything.
Right.
It's like, oh, I don't have time and whatnot. It's like, well, 15 to 30 minutes is still getting time in
For sure.
at that point in time. And then there are the other people that, again, go ghost or whatever, or disappear during the winter for 4 months or whatever, which I don't think they actually disappear.
They
But
hibernate in the gym.
at least they act like they're hibernating in the gym.
Right.
Yeah, 100%. And then they do that. And then, you know, oh, it's summertime. That's when I can really let loose or whatever,
Right.
or whatever it is. But yeah, that's the point of the matter is about the winter arc is that it doesn't need to be corny. Just find a way to get it done throughout the year.
Yes.
Is the point.
Yes. That is absolutely the point, you know, and it's easy to fall into the trends. It's easy to fall into those types of things, and it's easy to be influenced by people very, very,
Oh, 100%.
very easily, you know, and it's just monitor what you're consuming through social media, monitor the people that you're around, not just in the wintertime, but just in general. You know, we've talked a ton about that. The people around you, they're very important. Everyone knows it's cliche and all that, but it's also so true. It literally is so true, you know, and also when you do remove yourself from bad people or bad, you know, bad jobs or bad groups or, you know, whatever it is, bad gym maybe. Like there's some gyms that their culture sucks. Like it sucks, you know, or whatever.
Yeah.
You also realize just how good that feels eventually. You know, maybe in the moment it hurts because you feel like you're losing people, but when you look back on it, it's like, damn, that actually was pretty good for me, you know? And so that's also just important, you know, and just real quick, something you were talking about when you were talking about the golf, you know, you're patient. That's something Andy talks about all the time. Andy Frisella talks about the ladder thing all the time. You know, people above you on the ladder can help you get up there. There's also those people that are above you that can kick you down the ladder, you know? And it's like, whenever he has people over in his garage and they're smoking a cigar, like, you know damn well that they are talking about business. They are moving each other forward. And you and I, we want to be in that room one day. We want to be on those couches smoking that cigar with him because that's a guy that's above us on the ladder. He could help us climb the ladder. He could also kick us down, no doubt. And the people involved with him, a lot of them we are getting closer to, which is amazing. But we want to be in that room because we know how good that can be, how good it will be, you know? And so it's like just those people around you. I just want to hit on this because it really doesn't have anything to do with the winter arc thing. It's so important. And you and I, we were talking right before we started recording. You were asking me how the shoot went today and all that. And I told you, it's like, it was just so good to be around those guys. You know, it's quick, casual conversations. I won't even say casual. It's just quick conversations because we're all in there trying to get after it, trying to get the work in on a Monday or on a Wednesday morning. But it's just like, it felt so good walking out of there. It's like, not only did I just have a sick shoot, still got a great workout in, you know, because I will say the great thing about the S2 gym and the first one for that matter, the temperature in there is perfect. It's not too hot. It's definitely not too cold. You are going to sweat if you're working. Love it.
It's very interesting how they have even that part down.
I know.
Yeah,
I
it's
know.
very interesting.
Because so many gyms are freezing.
I've never vocalized that, but I've never like formed that thought in my head.
Right.
But now
But
that
it
you said that,
matters.
it 100%
Yes.
is a thing they have going in there.
Yes. And it also matters. Like the temperature of a gym matters. But anyway, it was just like walking out of there. It's just like, man, I'm so thankful I got to do that today and got to be around those guys. Like that was an awesome opportunity. And then you and I were also talking. It's like, we need to build on that. We have these awesome relationships, awesome people, awesome dudes, awesome girls that we know as well at those companies. And it's like, we have some tremendous opportunities. And so, guys, like those of you listening and watching, you do too.
Mm-hmm.
You have those types of people in your life. You might just have to think about it a little bit more and realize maybe what you're missing out on. You know, don't take advantage of people. It's not what we're talking about. Don't take advantage. Don't be annoying. But it can't ever hurt to ask the questions. You know, again, this has nothing to do necessarily with the winter arc thing, but it was something that I found very interesting in our conversation beforehand that I wanted to bring to the podcast here, because one of you will find value in this.
Mm-hmm.
One of you needs to ask the question, if, you know, can I get promoted? You know, can I do this thing or whatever it is? Like, ask the questions.
Mm-hmm.
If you have good enough relationships, if it's a mutual relationship too, they're able to do something for you, you're able to do something for them, like, then use it. You know, move forward.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. And again, like, that's to end it off. Those of you that saw my story on this Wednesday, you might have seen this, but it was a post from Chris Williamson, the guy that does Modern Wisdom podcast.
Mm-hmm.
And it was talking about suicide rate in men. It was talking about how that's exploded and it's like 4 times what women is. It was also talking about how in a lot of ways men are getting moved out of certain spaces, like college, for example. Like the disparity in college right now is massive. Who's in college at this point in time. And then also, and like, I mean, majority women that are going to college at this point in time. And also men are buying houses at a slower rate. But my point with that is that camaraderie that you're talking about right now.
Yeah.
It's that important stuff, is using those connections Wurtz was talking about, so you men can be around other good men.
Right.
It's very important. And again, that's why Wurtz and I speak up about this, because we're not afraid to talk about male topics and not afraid to encourage men to be around other good, strong men.
Right.
Because it is so important that you don't fall into one of those statistics that show up now, and that, you know, men are going this opposite direction of what they need to be in the world.
Right.
And a lot of times it's hard because a lot of men don't want to talk about that stuff.
Right.
It's scary. It's hard to talk about.
It's
hard to even voice your feelings on things and whatnot, because it's like, oh, we're not supposed to have feelings,
right?
Except for anger or whatever it's supposed to be.
Aggressiveness.
Yeah, exactly. So
even fears though too, like feelings, fears, things like that. Like a lot of us dudes are going through the same things, maybe in a little bit of a different way, like the specifics
100%.
of the scenario, but the overarching theme might be literally identical, you know? And so it's like, and we talk about it because we've seen how beneficial it is for us. We talk all the time about the guys in our lives. I just did a couple minutes ago. I named kind of the different avenues that we have, and we see how beneficial it is. So it's like, guys, we urge you, girls, we urge you to also have those. And if you feel like you don't, then you need to find them, because it will move you forward. It'll make your life better.
Yep. You and Mitch are really the only reasons I've stayed on track the last 2 to 3 years.
And same here.
I mean, seriously.
Like likewise. Absolutely.
Yeah. That shows you guys hearing that, like, that's the power.
Yeah.
Behind this.
For sure.
Like that is truthfully, like, that is the reason why I've kept moving in the right direction.
Yeah.
Is because of just 2 guys
right.
in my life in this scenario.
Right. No.
Again, all the other guys have assisted in that. I'm not discounting the other friends that I have
100%.
and whatnot, that type of stuff. But 100%, you two have kept me on that line, and that's because you are 2 other good, strong men.
Yep.
It's important to connect like that way. But again, not to get off of the winter arc topic, but that's an important one that we should always mention.
Right.
So, yeah.
You heard it here first. It's the everyday arc, damn it.
I like that one. Everyday arc kind of goes hard.
Get after it every day.
All year arc kind of.
We're gonna start a new trend. Everyday arc.
We actually should do that. You need to have Clough make a sound, send you a voice note of that, and say something about the everyday arc. That would be, we actually should do that.
You guys just heard a real business idea there live on air here. All right, guys. So typically at the end of all of our non-guest episodes, Money Mitch will ask us a Q&A question that's submitted by you guys, the listeners or the viewers. Now, we have a few different ways that we would like you to submit those to us. Number one, you can DM them to us on Instagram at untapped.llp. You can also DM them to us individually. You can text them to us if you have our numbers. Next, you can email them to us. Our email is extricationfitness@gmail.com. So it's our old name. It was going to be way too annoying and difficult for us to switch it over because we have too many different things with that email, blah, blah, blah. I know it's a mouthful. There's an email button on our Instagram bio and in our Facebook bio. So just click on that. You can email them to us as well. And finally, you can leave them in the comments of our Instagram posts or our YouTube videos. So all these podcasts are also on YouTube. For those of you that just like to listen, maybe you didn't know that, you can go check out our wonderful looking faces. Typically, Mitch is the best looking one in the room. He's also smartest in the room. He's also never here, so. And he's also the shortest in the room. Anyway.
Damn.
So.
Damn.
We also have vlogs, many vlogs on YouTube as well, with more to come. We have a bunch of different ideas that we want to execute on for those vlogs. So you can leave them in the comments on Instagram posts, TikTok posts. You can tweet them to us. It's another one. I never mentioned that, actually. Tweet them to us. Or
yeah, actually, do get on X, guys. X is
yes,
probably my favorite platform right now.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Or the YouTube comments as well. With all that being said, normally this is where I would say, Money Mitch, do your thing, but the desk is empty. The chair is empty over there. So, guys, please continue sharing the show. It helps us grow so much. So continue showing that love, showing that support. It is very easy for you. It is free. We're not asking you to buy anything. However, we do want you to buy Untapped Training because it's the best damn training around. So do that.
Yep.
Get better. Get into your everyday arc with us.
Well, and I want to real quick before on the share the show note real quick before we end off, but I want to say, guys, we make a big point of we haven't worked with a company yet because of the fact that we will only work with companies in the future on, like, if we're talking sponsorship wise, that we believe in.
Right. For sure.
We've gotten offers, but
we have.
But
they're BS ones.
Exactly.
Like, we're not going to do it.
Yeah. So we're not going to share something that we don't believe in. So the point is, we're going to bring you guys information and companies that we believe in. And you're getting this show for free right now. The only thing we talk about is Untapped Training.
Right.
We'd appreciate the share.
Absolutely.
Big time. And
yes.
Again, we know we get a bunch of messages from you guys. Like, we know you love the show.
Showcase that.
Show that love.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I will turn around right away. So will Wurtz, and support you guys as well.
Absolutely.
Every day of the week. There's just no doubt about it. So.
Yep. No, that's a great point. Guys, until next time, peace and love.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Got too little time, I'm